show with some breaking news out of Philadelphia. Joel Embiid, he's been ruled out already for Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. That's tonight against the Knicks. He has some right hip soreness that's bugging him and a right ankle sprain as well. So big news here, and that means we bring in Big Shams. Shams Charania, our senior insider, is with us. What exactly led to Philly's decision, Shams, to rule out Joel Embiid, especially so early in the day here?
Like, I'm told Joel Embiid woke up with increased soreness and pain in his hip and ankle, and he ended up having additional treatment as the morning went on, spent the majority of the morning on the training table, was not able to participate in shoot-around. But when that ankle and that hip just was not responding to treatment and additional aspects that he worked with the medical staff, the Sixers were the ones to make the decision to rule him out tonight against the Knicks in Game 2 in New York. They are the ones that stepped in and essentially have kept him out. We know Joel Embiid loves to play and has tried to play through different ailments over the course of time. But now Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Paul George will play on without him in Game 2. His status uncertain moving forward.
All right, so we certainly know the Sixers team has experience without Joel Embiid, but they are without him here for this Game 2. Shams, thank you so very much for that insight as we welcome you inside our Los Angeles studio. NBA champ Kendrick Perkins, former #1 pick Chiney Ogwumike, the best in the business, Brian Windhorst. Perk,
wait, no. And we have Dr. Malik.
Doctor. That's why I'm wearing the pilot purple today. I'm
We're not going to gloss past that.
Yes. Well,
where's your hood?
Where's the hood? Where's the cap?
Dr. Andrews for the rest of the show. However, not the kind of doctor that can diagnose what is going on with Joel Embiid here. Do not trust me with that sort of medical advice. But Perk, big man to big man, what do you think the Sixers' chances are? No Joel Embiid in this Game 2.
No chance. You say
really?
No chance. You see the way the Knicks been playing basketball over the last 4 games, offensively and defensively? They need Joel Embiid. And I'm to the point now where it's not just unfortunate if you're a 76er fan. It's frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. And I'm to the point now because Anthony Edwards has set the bar and the standard.
Oh, that was amazing.
It was. I don't want to hear about doctors and the team holding you out because the doctors and teams, they couldn't hold Anthony Edwards out. Anthony Edwards went in there and put his foot down and said, I'm going to play. I'm going to be available. I get it. Joel Embiid, right, his history is long when it comes to his injuries, but damn it, man. This is so much of a disappointment. Like, it really is. Look, different year, same story.
Yeah. Completely agree. It is a different year. It is the same story. And the crazy thing is that they gave us hope with how they performed versus the Boston Celtics in Game 7. You felt like he was so close. This team was so close to actually being right at the right time. For Joel Embiid, I mean, it's a different circumstance than Anthony Edwards. Joel has a CVS long receipt of nicks and knacks and issues and surgeries, and the latest being the appendectomy that he dealt with. But I am the most optimistic, probably, human here at ESPN.
Agree. Yes.
And I don't see a chance, a path forward without Joel Embiid for the Sixers to advance the way that the Knicks are playing. And also, if I'm Karl Anthony Towns, Wendy, I'm like, oh, I am salivating. Now it's my turn. We saw in Game 1 Jalen Brunson do his thing. This is the first time we're seeing the Knicks be unselfish. They dive on the floor for loose balls. Mike Brown said that after the game. I think of Game 1, he's like, we're getting that type of effort regardless of whether we win or lose. We don't know what the possession's going to look like. And now you have Cat who can go and say, like, okay, now you go do bad. He's fully capable of it.
From probable to out on a playoff day. Damn. In the annals of Joel Embiid injury history, of which there's a lot, this is another chapter. Probable to out. And you know what? We just showed all those.
Oh, goodness. I'm sorry, Wendy. I'm sorry.
He loves us.
I'm sorry. You weren't scheduled to be. Oh, why? Because Joel's out. Now you're all excited.
I'm so sad for Joel Embiid tonight. We wish him well. We are looking forward to him coming back. But I feel bad for the Sixers tonight. New York, stand up, girl. New York, stand up.
I'm going to tell you something, though, Stephen A. When Jalen Brunson was coming off those screens and Embiid was in that drop coverage and he was getting all those free shots, that's not going to be there tonight. They're going to be able to change their defense, and Brunson's not going to have as much space.
They don't need it. It doesn't matter. They're going down 0-2. Brunson's going to drop. It's going to be about 30 tonight. Karl Anthony Towns, he's going to have another triple-double. OG going to come down a little bit. Going to have about 20. I know he had 17 the other night, but it's going to be, 20, whatever. Let's make sure we keep Mikal Bridges flowing. That's very, very important. We don't need him going into another stupid. We don't need that experience again, damn it. 6 picks, 4 unprotected. Remember, I keep saying that. Live up to it. Bottom line is this. We go up 2-0 tonight. We go back to the city of brotherly love, show them no love whatsoever. Embiid will try to be ready. They win 1 or 2. We come back to the Garden for Game 5.
This is what the Knicks do.
And it's over.
Just when you think,
it's over.
Just when you think the Knicks got, this is what happens. So this is a trap. This is a certified trap right now. You are personifying the Knicks fan right now.
No, but look, I have to agree with Stephen A. because it's not just the Game 1. It's what we've witnessed over the last 4 games. Defensively and offensively, they're clicking on all cylinders. And at some point, y'all know how I feel about Tyrese Maxey. Hey, man, at some point, you got to put your foot down. All this Jalen Brunson.
But I will say, Perk, the last time Joel Embiid was out in a Game 2, when they got absolutely smacked in a Game 1, everyone else stepped up,
and to the tune of Maxey, 29 points, Edge come 30. That was Game 2 versus Celtics where they
I just
won.
want to state for the record, this is y'all's show. And since I just strolled in uninvited, like I do, I want y'all to know you are more than welcome to do that anytime. If you're willing to wake up in the morning and do it on first take, I will not turn you away. You can bust right in, Malika, anytime you want to.
Yeah,
anytime I want to be up at 6 a.m.
That's right, just like I'm doing on
Friday
the show.
when he and Skip are over there.
There we go.
See what happens. See what happens. You try to walk on.
I'm not going to. This is Malika Andrew, but I'm not going to stop
Doctor.
that. I'm not going to stop
Dr.
that.
Andrew.
You understand? Doctor, excuse me. I'm sorry.
As of this weekend, Stephen A., that is true. All right, you get on out of here. We're going to get to the Lakers in Oklahoma City.
We have been.
Welcome back to SportsCenter. Game 2 of Spurs Timberwolves is tonight at 9:30 Eastern on ESPN. Wemby and San Antonio looking to avoid going down 2-0 in the series. So joining us now is Anthony Slater, who's with the Wolves, and Michael Seawright, who's covering the Spurs. Slater, I'll start with you. Ant-Man came off the bench in Game 1 just 9 days after injuring his left knee. He came up clutch by scoring 11 of his 18 in the fourth. But after the game, he said he was disappointed in his performance. What's the plan for him going into tonight?
He was probably the only one disappointed in that performance, right? I think the Timberwolves were generally pretty happy about it. But, the last 48 hours, everything has trended well for him. He did film yesterday right behind me in the ballroom. He got some treatment on the knee. He did a light workout yesterday. I was out at the arena this morning during shoot-around, and I thought he went even kind of harder at shoot-around than I saw before Game 1. They list him as questionable, but all signs not only point to him playing tonight, but I could see him maybe bumping his minutes because you mentioned the fourth quarter. He was able to play, almost 10 fourth quarter minutes and scoring 11. So I thought he got stronger as the game went on. And then the one other note I would say, Ayo Dosunmu, who's missed the last 2 games, is cleared for tonight. You're going to see him return to the Wolves.
So another hot topic coming out of Game 1 is Wemby and his NBA playoff record, 12 blocks. The man was playing whack-a-mole out there, but Wolves head coach Chris Finch basically thinks he was cheating. Take a listen to this.
At least 4 of them were goaltending, maybe even a 5th. It's kind of, to me, it's a little alarming that none of them were called. So let's just say there were 4. That's 8 points. The value of 8 points in an NBA game is massive, right? That's also, 33% of his blocks were goaltending uncalled. And, if I were to give you a 33% raise, you'd like that, right? I mean, that's a huge number.
You got to make sure you're politicking in an NBA playoff series. So, Anthony, what more can you share about Chris Finch questioning Wemby's blocks?
You said it right there. I mean, it's your classic NBA playoff lobbying, right? Referee manipulating, they would hope to a degree. I'll say this about the Timberwolves. They faced the Nuggets in the first round, and as good as Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets are at a lot of things, rim protection is not one of them. Nikola Jokic had 5 total blocks over the 6-game series. Wembanyama had 8 blocks in the first half the other night, 12 total. And the reality is the Wolves know they got a long series ahead of facing Victor Wembanyama's rim protection. And part of what Chris Finch clearly is trying to do is maybe get a few goaltending calls out of it, because there were a few the other night that, particularly the one early in the first quarter, was pretty egregious. So I think Chris Finch is just trying to get a few extra hoops tonight, on a couple of these Wemby blocks.
All right, Michael, I'm going to come to you next. Wemby did not meet the moment offensively, just 11 points on 5 of 17 shooting. Not often you see a guy have more blocks than points. So what did Wembanyama say about rebounding from that performance?
Well, Victor Wembanyama said he could start by making more shots, but this is not just Wemby. It's also De'Aaron Fox. San Antonio's 2 All-Stars, they combined for 21 points. They shot 0 for 12 from three-point range. They combined for 9 turnovers. Okay, so it's one of those things where Victor, he felt like he expended a lot of energy in that game 1. But, that's apparent by what he did on the defensive end. But offensively, he said that he spent way too much time putting in energy on things that did not help his team. Victor said that's on me. So both him and De'Aaron Fox took responsibility for the game 1 loss. But they walked out of Frostbank Center kind of encouraged by the prospects for game 2. De'Aaron Fox said that even though Minnesota is a great defensive team, he said there was nothing in particular that they did that affected his game. De'Aaron said that he just missed shots, but most importantly, he said he committed way too many unforced turnovers. De'Aaron Fox turned over the ball 6 times in game 1, so he'll be looking to clean that up in game 2.
Yeah, Wemby's 29% field goal percentage in game 1 is his 4th worst in any game this season. And then as for Fox, he posted lows in field goal percentage and points with a high in turnovers. Michael and Anthony, thank you.
All right, let's talk about this series with our sports betting analyst, Aaron Dolan. ED's back with us. Okay, so Spurs entered game 2 9.5-point favorites despite the Wolves winning game 1. How would you play then tonight's matchup?
I'd look at the total sitting at 216.5, and I would go under this. Now, in game 1, the total closed to 218.5, and we saw a combined 206 points scored. And this really came down to defenses on both sides of the ball. As you guys have talked about, Wemby had 12 blocks, and meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, the Timberwolves defense contested 14 of Wemby's 17 shot attempts. And Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle, they were able to get Wemby off of his spots in that game. And then as for Anthony Edwards, understanding obviously he's a game time decision, most likely going to play, but he only played 25 minutes in that first game. So I don't see this being a high scoring series. And because the total hasn't been adjusted that much, I would go under 216.5 tonight.
That is Aaron Dolan doling out her best bets. ED, thank you.